Counter this problem, this Ebola, by treating my mother, my unborn mother.
Na ho twalende de ple pe avelu na benu lo ni nduma da na ho ni ha lo ple bovu na ba na
we dey go bury na there we small brother back he die we in die na there we all get the sickness.
Little did people in the Mana River Union sub-region in West Africa imagine that such a thing could happen. 5,000 deaths and counting in a matter of months. Where did it come from? How did it start? Will people in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea survive this deadly encounter with Ebola?
This is not the first country that Ebola has ever hit. Ebola went to Congo, Zaire, Uganda. Other countries have been affected. Now that it's in West Africa. It's in Guinea, it's in Sierra Leone, it's in Liberia.
This outbreak of EVD, the Ebola virus disease, began in Guinea in December 2013 and quickly spread to Sierra Leone and Liberia. Liberia became the epicenter of the disease, with almost 100 deaths recorded every day. Soon, EVD had traveled to other African countries, Nigeria, Senegal, and Mali, but it was quickly stamped out.
Today, 20th of October, 42 days, it means twice of the incubation period. After the last confirmed case of Ebola virus disease was discharged from the isolation ward, having tested negative for the Ebola virus, the chains of transmission have been broken. WHO officially declares that Nigeria is now free of Ebola virus transmission.
The first case of Ebola to be diagnosed in the U.S. was Thomas Eric Duncan, who didn't make it despite all efforts to treat him.
Thomas Eric Duncan has passed away, and I want to read you the email that we just got from the hospital. It is with profound sadness and heartfelt disappointment that we must inform you of the death of Thomas Eric Duncan this morning at 7:51 a.m. That's Dallas time.
With medical facilities run by Samaritan's Purse and Médecins Sans Frontières, the fight for survival went into full gear, and help came from countries around the world.
A group of British Army medics touched down in Freetown on Thursday in a bid to help Sierra Leone fight the deadly Ebola epidemic.
We come here to help them from our heart. In particular, we are doctors. Do you know that? And this is show our the friendship between China and Sierra Leone people. It's like me.
This morning, the government of India announced a $50,000 each cash assistance to Liberia, Sierra Leone, and to the Republic of Guinea. $50,000 each, and this is to be used for medical or humanitarian purposes related to the Ebola virus.
U.S. troops are arriving in Liberia as part of President Obama's plan to send 3,000 soldiers to West Africa to combat the spread of the deadly Ebola virus.
So the United States will continue to help lead the global response in West Africa. Because if we want to protect Americans from Ebola here at home, we have to end it over there. And as our civilian and military personnel serve in the region, their safety and health will remain a top priority. As I've said before, fighting this disease will take time. Before this is over, we may see more isolated cases here in America. But we know how to wage this fight. And if we take the steps that are necessary, if we're guided by the science, the facts, not fear, then I'm absolutely confident that we can prevent a serious outbreak here in the United States, and we can continue to lead the world in this urgent effort.
The World Health Organization, WHO, taking the lead in an international effort to stamp out Ebola in West Africa, gives regular Ebola updates.
It reports that a total of 13,042 cases and 4,818 deaths. At the country level, in the weekly incidence appears to be stable in Guinea. In Sierra Leone, the weekly incidents continue to rise, while in Liberia it appears to be declining. However, in all three countries, the World Health Organization stresses that Ebola transmission remain persistent and widespread, particularly in the capital cities, and that the cases and deaths continue to be underreported in this outbreak.
Today in Liberia, there are empty beds and many survivors.
Dirohwana yungunu kude madimema na ho utanda ke so bulwale makia yavu yaunda kia kundu machom yama kundu tia kwepo mdo chipe wandawa numpe vu pele numpili andope asoi yavu ho atomda ma yavu ho du chomne ma na chulu dia lonne.
Eloni ndi ko elo malo yako wankio ke sala ma kale mi penge na ya loko na ho salano na ho me nan sengu ni ha nyako njaye mane aya be me sala certificate yo me kwando ba na ho le mi na dendula ni ando nan sengu ha nan cha ko ni ndani na ndindini because me na chomda pe ya vo ma na ho ono na kiwa.
When they knew that I was positive, so they sent me to the other side where how they call confirm. So I was in a confirm for a week again. They came for my blood test. They came my blood, so it was negative. They discharged me.
There will be more survivors, with 2 Ebola vaccines getting into their final stages of testing.
And there is a very, very strong movement now from governments of many countries to push as quickly as possible this vaccine into real world use, if I may say. So these trials will all start in the coming 2 weeks, I would say. And we expect both for the chimp adenovirus as well as from the VSV vaccine to have initial results. Of course, these trials will continue for 6 months to a year, but to have initial results about safety and immunogenicity, to have a choice of a dose level by the end of this year, so in December. That's clearly the plan.
Survival of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, countries that share so much in common, is undoubtedly sure these certified Ebola survivors are as real as the deadly EVD. They are helping to ensure that every village, every town, every city, in every country in this region, and in the world, is Ebola free forever, forever.